third star of the week this week. So.
Well, that's surprising his third star, based on what I saw. But I don't get a chance to see everyone, so obviously the other guys must have played some tremendous hockey. Because Bobby, for us, was great. Again, great is probably the best adjective. He was great.
No Umberger, no Adrian Aucoin.
Yeah, both maintenance days for them. Again, their guys are banged up, beat up. We just went through a really tough stretch, 9-16. So for the guys that are banged up, we got a little bit of time here where we can hopefully rest some bodies.
Do you think Aucoin? I mean, you mentioned maybe even resting him tomorrow and giving him a long, about a week off. I mean, is that still
It's still a possibility. It's something that we'll give more thought into, and then we'll come in tomorrow and have a game plan and go from there.
How long have you been itching to work on that power play? You've mentioned it a few times.
It's when you go back and look at our games, systematically now we're playing 5-on-5, and our penalty kill's been very good all season. You can see huge improvements from 5-on-5, and the one area that has been a bit of a letdown, has been our power play, and just it's not so much getting the puck into their zone; it's once we get it there. It's just our execution hasn't been good. Lose battles. We aren't moving fast enough or playing fast enough to have success. So today's a day where you can go out and at least talk about some things and get guys, moving a little bit. Our penalty kill still had the upper hand today. I guess that's not surprising based on where we're at penalty kill and where we're at power play. But hopefully we'll see some positive things in tomorrow's game.
Was it nice just to get a real practice in for a change?
I was planning practice today and I didn't know what to do. No, honestly, I sit there and I'm like, what's the routine I do for practice and drills, and just because we haven't done it in so long. But it was nice. It's nice getting out and as a group, and again, just trying to work on some things that we think we need to work on.
If you look at Nashville, what are you seeing out of their game here recently?
I watched their game last night. Uncharacteristically, they're giving up goals. In Vancouver and in Calgary, they're just on a tough stretch out west, and we're going to have to go through it in a week here. And that's never easy going out there and playing hockey. But that's probably the biggest thing. I haven't had a chance to really dive in and really watch them seriously. I'm watching on TV and just kind of following them. But they're a well-coached team. They play, systematically, such a strong game. 5-on-5, specialty teams are usually really good. And they test you in a lot of areas as far as just fundamentals and staying on top of your game. And listening to what they're talking about, we're going to get, their best game. At least that's what I'm expecting. Desperate, a lot of urgency to their game. And as I told our guys the other day, nobody should be more urgent or desperate than us. We're all in the same boat, and we're all fighting for 2 points each and every night. So we have to be ready to go. It's a home game. Sometimes you're lose a little bit of edge than when you're playing on the road. But we better be ready to go tomorrow.
McKenzie, was it a case where he was kind of playing at this here, and if you give him some time off to get him back to? I mean, was he playing through some stuff?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, he's RJ, Coyne, and there's other guys in the room. And I guarantee if you went to the other 29 teams, they'd all be saying the same thing. It's what happens, in the lockout, the situation we're in. You're piling 48 games into a small window. And, if the body doesn't have time to recover, from these bumps and bruises, it just starts to break down. And you get a lot of these little nagging injuries that if you start totaling them up can take you out or force you to miss some time.
Is there a sense that McKenzie's kind of maybe getting over something?
Well, yeah. I mean, you would probably love to give him more days off. But, again, we don't have... Nobody does. Nobody has lots of time to give their players off. You miss 10 days, you're missing 4 games, possibly. So it's important. And again, the role he's played on our team is an important role as far as just the energy, the speed, the physicality, and draws and penalty kill. He does a lot of good things for us.
Your assessment of Anisimov kind of stepping into that role with those guys?
Well, I used Artie in a lot of different roles. Power play, penalty kill. I thought Johansson started to. I talked about our tanks being empty, but his looked like it was past the E. So Artie had some fresh legs, so moved him up and give him a little bit more ice time, and he was moving. And the plan is right now is to start the same way as we started last game. But Artie gives me lots of options. He's a good checker. He's a smart player, and he's got some offensive skills. So I can use him in a lot of different ways.
That fourth line has been as effective no matter who's been on it. The one guy that has been there constantly all year has been Jared Bull. How much credit should he get for making sure that line has been as effective as it is every night, no matter who he's playing with?
Jared's been really good, and I think that might have been his best game that he played all season. Was Saturday? I had him moved up and different places, and he had good energy, making smart plays, and he's done that pretty much all year. And then the other thing he does is, he would have had more ice time, but he spent 5 minutes in the box. But that's another thing that Jared does that, everyone knows it because you can see it, but just the impact that has on your team, and not so much at home, but on the road. Jared had a big effect when we went into Detroit last game, and we won 3-2. But Jared played the first shift and just missed Datsuk with a hit, and he didn't hit him. But I guarantee you the message, everyone on the Detroit bench saw that, and you have to be aware of him. So there's an effect there that he has.
Have you talked to Steve Mason recently? Just kind of
I just had small talk with him out on the ice today.
How's he been?
Good.
It's been a while
Good.
since-
No, you know what? He's just like anybody. He's disappointed because he wants to play. But I'll tell you what, he's good spirits, and it's real too. It's not fake. It's not contrived. He feels he's happy for Bob, and he's happy for the team. And I bet you if you went and talked to Wisniewski and everyone else who's not in the lineup, they'd say the same thing. They're frustrated. They would love to be playing and be part of it because they feel they can all help the team. But they're happy for the team too.
Expect to use Steve maybe on the trip?
We're going to have to use Steve. I mean, Bob, again, this small window that we're playing in and the number of games, and now we're going to be spending a lot of time traveling. It's nice being at home, having days off where you could really manage it. But now it's going to become more difficult, especially flying out west. We play Calgary, then in Nashville, and we got to fly out to Vancouver. Good thing is we have 2 days, but it still takes a toll on the body.